Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment of Health Professional Radio. We'll be speaking with Greg Pierce in this segment. He's joining us here from Synchrony. Synchrony is a financial services company. Greg's going to talk about over-the-counter hearing aids ruling, ways to find and pay an audiologist who can ensure that you have the right hearing aid for your needs, and how consumers can utilize Synchrony's network of 260,000 providers to ensure that they're getting hearing care that they need. Welcome to Health Professional Radio. Greg Pierce, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Neil. It's great to be with you. And as you mentioned, I'm responsible for our specialty business within the Synchrony health and wellness world, and that includes our cosmetic, vision, and hearing markets. So it's great to be with you to chat today.
And you are a senior vice president and general manager, as you said, of specialty health and wellness there at Synchrony. We've heard about this FDA ruling from last year that says that patients can expect to save up to $3,000 as far as their hearing aids go. Tell us about this ruling and any other financial updates that we're seeing on the healthcare front concerning audiologists and their patients.
Thanks, Neil. Yeah. At the end of last year, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued final rule to improve access to hearing aids, which may in turn lower costs for millions of Americans, as you mentioned. And this action essentially establishes a new category of over-the-counter or OTC hearing aids. And that essentially enables consumers with perceived mild or moderate hearing impairment to purchase directly from stores or online retailers without the need for medical exam, prescription, or fitting adjustments by audiologists.
That's great for some patients. How is this affecting practices, and is it an overall good thing?
I think it is an overall good thing. You know, what we're currently seeing is that people are not getting the hearing checked as they often should be. According to the Mayo Clinic, patients who receive a hearing screening might wait an average of 5 to 10 years before addressing that result, Neil. And, you know, this most likely is attributed to the stigma around the use of hearing aids, often as a result of maybe perceptions of age, device costs, gaps in insurance, et cetera. So the access to possibly more affordable hearing devices should be beneficial. Now, I will note that it's the importance of the service and the relationship of the audiologist to the consumer still is very, very critical. But by removing the prescription barrier, more people can ideally work toward improving their hearing wellness where affordability is still concerned.
How is this going to affect those who really may not need a hearing aid at that point, but they think that they do without having been seen?
Well, I think it starts the process. You know, there's close to there's over 30 million adults who could benefit from hearing aid use, and many of them don't address that. I'm a bass player, and I probably fall into that category. So I think, Neil, the opportunity to just create more awareness around that, and then have consumers, you know, we're all consumers, connect with local providers to understand that the benefit that can come with that, I think, is only going to be a good thing.
You mentioned some of the stigma surrounding the use of hearing devices, associating it with age. We often think of that. When we think of a hearing aid, we think of someone older. Hearing problems impact younger people as well. What about their access? What about their being seen by audiologists in their younger years to ensure better hearing later on, possibly?
Absolutely. Our lifetime of care costs study found that about 80% of respondents don't have a dedicated savings or healthcare expense area, and that's growing with the younger demographics. The CDC reports that the hearing loss affects nearly, like I mentioned, over 30 million Americans aged 18 and over, Neil, and that category is only growing. So in terms of younger demographics, and certainly the use of different devices in folks' ears, we're seeing that demographic lowering and also a trend toward the need for some element of a hearing procedure for mild to moderate hearing impairment.
What kind of options are out there to help finance hearing and audiology services? So, even with being able to get them over the counter, you still need to get the care that you need. You can't do it all on your own.
No, I mean, at Synchrony, we have over 90 years of experience with consumer lending across multiple industries, and certainly in the health and wellness space, we've been a major player for 35 plus years, really starting out in the dental market. But for the last 20 plus years have been a major player in the hearing market. In terms of access to care, when a consumer and patient want and need, we have multiple options around that. We have our Trusted Health and Wellness credit card known as Care Credit for patients that offer more flexibility for the medical needs and hearing health and also pet care on that card. And then recently, we acquired our Allegro Credit, which is an installment loan product, Neil, that is a leading provider of point-of-sale consumer financing for audiology. They were a major player in the audiology market. So it just provides patients and providers more options to credit card opportunities as well as installment loan products. And we work with over 266,000 healthcare providers across multiple industries and have more than 12 million cardholders and consumers that we service. And so we're very proud of the role we play in helping connect patients and providers with the care that they need, both in terms of products and services.
How easy is it to connect with this network of your providers throughout the country? Is this something that requires a lot of paperwork, a lot of telephone calls, a lot of email back and forth? How seamless is it?
That's a great question, Neil. Once we establish a relationship with a patient, a consumer, we're in connection with them and contact and make them aware of the other industries that we serve. Let them know that their financial products will work in those other industries. And so the hearing market benefits from that. There could be a customer that we became in contact with and established a relationship, say, in our dental market, Neil. And they have an available line of credit to make future purchases. And we track that all the time. And a lot of times see that those, what we call cross-shop customers or patients that were acquired in other industries come and make future purchases in our hearing space with our providers in that particular market.
Are there services that allow those who are utilizing Synchrony's network of providers the opportunity to, I guess, shop around for the best option for their financial needs? Does Synchrony help them out with the different options, comparisons, and whatnot?
In many respects, we do, Neil. We have a provider locator. So when consumers connect on our website, they're able to put in their zip code and see what providers, in this case, in the hearing market, what providers that we work with. It's called our provider locator. So in that way, in the world of technology, we help connect future patients to our provider network, in this case, our hearing market. So we think that's an incredibly powerful tool that helps through technology connect patients who need devices or medical procedures to the providers that are there to serve them on a daily basis.
Greg, give us a website where we can learn more.
Thanks, Neil. Yes. Our listeners can go to www.carecredit.com. That's CareCredit.com.
Greg, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for lending us some of your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Neil.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Greg Pierce. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Health Professional Radio.